Hello. All right. Today I want to teach you guys how to make your own scratch board. And then next week when these dry, we'll use a little tool. I have metal tools with this handle that you can use to draw into your scratch board and make all the colors appear. But if you had to take this home or you wanted to do this at home, then you could use like a toothpick or even just like sharpen a piece of wood or something to carve and scrape into it. Okay, so it's just a simple piece of paper. I'm gonna write my name on the back. I have this old paper where it's red on one side that I'm gonna use. The paper, it just needs to be nice and firm. So don't use like a thin, like copy paper. You wanna use it's a little thicker. This one's like a card stock, okay? And so today, our main goal is going to be to just color your background. So all I'm doing here, I'm gonna use this like placemat so I don't color all over the tables. And I would appreciate it if you guys would do the same. And I'm just gonna color the background. You can do a design, you could do a pattern. I think I'm gonna do like a yellow border. Oh, broke it. Pressing so hard. That's the thing about this project is you have to press really hard so that when you scrape away, because we're gonna paint over this with this black paint, which I'll tell you about in just a minute, you want oil pastel to be covering the paper. If it doesn't cover the paper, this black paint stuff that we're gonna use for the top of our scratch board, it's going to stick to the paper, and then when you try to scrape it away, it won't scrape away. It actually attaches to the paper. And you'll start to understand what I mean as we get going, okay? Once you start actually doing this. So color in your paper, I can't stress this enough. Color in your paper really solid. You can't just lightly color like that and then just, oh, I'm done. Nope, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to go over it and press really hard. So now that I've got that, I think I'm gonna do a pattern that's like a circular pattern. So I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna start with kind of like a zigzag pattern, and I'm just gonna switch random colors that I see. It doesn't really matter today how this looks because you're gonna be covering it with black paint and then you're gonna be scraping away and doing a drawing in your scratch board. So you just need to have a lot of color. I think it looks best if you have a lot of color. And I'm actually not gonna use any black. So, because otherwise when you scratch away the black paint that we're gonna use in a minute, you won't really see your drawing. It's not gonna show up. So I'm just gonna use all different colors. And you can use white. So some kids wanted to know if they could use white. You can, but you have to actually color your paper with a white pastel. You can't use the white of the paper. So I'm paying really close attention, making sure that there's no little bits of that paper showing through and that it's really solid, okay? So I am gonna finish this. And then once I'm done with this, I will show you part 2. So today, your job for today's class, it's really important to get this whole thing colored the way that you want it. And then near the end of the class, I'm gonna show you the last part so that you know what to do when this is all done. Make sure your name is on the back before we start part 2.